Hi everyone, and welcome back to Imagination Arts again. In this video today we will be working on continuing to work on contrast and colors and adding detail to the island beach scenery that we started 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry this piece is taking so long, but when I worked on this piece I did it over several days, and so the video was quite long. And so in that I had to break it up into multiple parts. So with that, in this video we will be continuing on working on the island scene that you'll see here. This is the finished piece, and we will be continuing in working with adding some more colors into the sky, working on the contrast and the details and things like that. So with that, let's get to this video. Okay, so in this video, basically we're just going to be going over boosting up some contrast, some details, bringing things forward, adding more colors to the sky. And as you can see here in this part here, you can see some yellows and purples there. Actually, what that is that's the previous layer that we did with the orange. I basically went over with some light purple, added lots of water to the paint to make it really thin and really translucent, and then painted over the orange background just enough to allow some of it to show through. And apparently that section of the video is missing. I apologize for that. I don't know what happened there, but again, I just basically went over with some loose translucent paint and went in there with just added water to it till it was the translucency that I needed it to be, to where it would show the orange still in the background. And again, what I'm doing now is I'm taking that liner brush and using that bright green paint, and just adding a little bit of water because I don't want it too translucent. I want it to bring these palm leaves forward, because this is just another base layer. We will continue to add more details to these palm leaves as we go along. But I just continued to add green until it really brought those trees forward and pulled them out of the background. Now I'm taking that same green and putting some highlights into the bushes, and now I've added just a touch of orange to kind of give it some highlights from the glow of the sun on the leaves. Again, using that orange, going in there and putting in some glow, some of that orange glow from the sun on the branches. And I just want to make a note here that this, you can see here, this doesn't look really good. It looks kind of like a mess. But you're going to have layers that aren't going to look good. That just means just keep working on it, keep adding things, keep painting with any medium, whether it's paints or colored pencils, whatever medium. There's going to be layers where you don't like how it looks, you don't like, you're not going to like it, it's not going to look good. That just means that it's not finished. You just need to keep working on it. So never give up on a piece when you reach a point to where you're like, oh, I've been working on this and it still don't look like I want it to. It doesn't look good. Just keep painting. Just keep working on it. Don't give up on your work. Just continue to work on it and keep adding until you get it to look the way you want it to. Again, like I said, with acrylics, it's really forgiving, and so you can correct mistakes or things that you don't really like. Again, just beefing up those wave tops, putting that sea foam in there. Cleaning my brush off and then putting some more paint on it. Now I'm adding those little veins that come off of the waves. Water is never just a straight flat surface. It's always got these little ripples in it, so you're always going to have these veins coming off of the waves. Just putting those in there. And now I'm going to go in and start working on this conch shell. First I used a little bit of orange and added a little bit of black and a little white to get it that orange, that gray tintish color. And then I used a little bit of green and yellow to come in there and put some more colors in there. Now I'm using that pale tan color again, just mixed my colors together. Now I'm blending that out with my blending brush. Okay, now what I'm doing now is I'm using a flat brush, and I'm just using the edge of it to go in around there and fill in the edges, bring the edges out, bring them more crisper, redefining these branches and bringing out some highlights. And what we're doing is basically we're just defining these branches a little bit more, just going in with that green, using the edge of the brush to just continue to work on these branches, bringing out the edges, crispening them up. Again, just continuing to go over with that green where it looks like we need to bring in some more highlighted areas, and again just continuing to keep working on it until, you know, I get it to where I think it's, you know, where it should, the way it should be, and until I get it to where it looks the way I want it to look. And as you can see, though, the black that we went in there with for the shading, you can really see how that's really adding a lot of depth to those trees. It's really making it certain areas look like they're farther in the background, and really giving this picture some real depth. Now touching up those palm trees again, putting in some more highlights on those trunks of the palm trees. Bringing those forward. Now I'm going in with that same brush. I've cleaned it off, and I'm using some yellow with just a hint of white in it to kind of lighten it, to make it a little bit more translucent, so to really bring out those palm branches and bring out the highlights, really give it some real definition on those palm branches. And just continuing to go back over the branches with that translucent yellow by just adding a little bit of water. Again, the more water, the more translucent. So, and if you do happen to go in and get an area that is more opaque than you would like, you can always just take a clean brush with some water in it and go over it, and it will lighten it up. Again, acrylics are very, very forgiving. If there's something that you don't quite like, it's real easy to just correct it. The main thing is to just keep working on the piece, because you're going to have layers, and you're going to have steps in the piece that, you know, don't look quite right to you, and you're not going to like them. So the main thing is to just continue to work on it until you do like it. Because it's all about the artist's mindset and the the artist's eye that is painting the piece. So you just continue to keep working on that piece until you get it the way you like it. Again, now we're working on that shell again, putting some more detailing on it. Putting those shadows in, touching up some of those. Well, there is the finished part of with the adding more detail, working on the contrast, adding some more colors into the sky, working on more detail on the island and the trees and the water. So I hope you followed along with that video and you enjoyed it, and I hope you picked up some things and learned some things, maybe learned from some mistakes that I may have made that I learned as I was working on this piece. And we'll continue to learn together as we grow along on this learning to do art and painting. And with that, be sure and give this video a like so that I'll know that you liked it, and be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think, or if you would like to see me try something else. And even some suggestions, things that might help me out. We're here to learn and grow together. So let's be sure and click that like button, and be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you'll be notified of all my upcoming videos each week, and you won't miss when I have a new video out. Also, I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, so be sure and follow me on those as well. I also have a website, so be sure and check that out. But most of all, follow me on Twitter and subscribe, and Facebook, so that way you'll be able to keep up to date on things that are going on. Sometimes I have pieces that I don't make videos for that I share on my social media sites as well as my website. And so with that, be sure and check those out. And then again, as I said, be sure and follow me on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram. I usually share my work on there, as well as I let people know if something, for some reason, I will not be having a video for that week. So be sure and follow me on Facebook and Twitter or Instagram, and check out my website. But most of all, be sure and click on that subscribe button so that you won't miss any of my videos that are coming out. Thanks, and hope to see you in the next video.